Little did Patrice Lumumba know, this day in 1960 would mark the beginning of a life-altering spiral that would engulf not just his life, but the very fabric of the newly independent Congo. After years of colonial rule, the Democratic Republic of the Congo had finally gained independence from Belgium on June 30th, 1960. But the transition was anything but smooth. Patrice Lumumba, a charismatic leader and the first prime minister of the Congo, was a beacon of hope for many. His vision for a united, independent Congo was both inspiring and dangerous, as it opposed the old colonial powers still attempting to control African nations from behind the curtain. What followed was a turbulent start to independence, rife with internal and external strife. On July 11, 1960, in the mineral-rich province of Katanga, a man named Moise Tshombe declared independence with the backing of Belgian mining interests, which were fearful of Lumumba's nationalist agenda. This act was perceived not only as rebellion, but also as a significant threat to the integrity of the fledgling nation. Lumumba's call for assistance from the United Nations was met with suspicion. The UN's involvement only fanned the flames of tension, leading to accusations of foreign interference. Meanwhile, Congolese soldiers were struggling for their own power and identity, feeling sidelines in a conflicted national narrative. Tensions escalated further when in September 1960, Lumumba was dismissed from office in a controversial political strife. Facing an ever-growing military and political crisis, Lumumba sought refuge in the Soviet Union, believing that support from communists would help stabilize his position. The Cold War context provided fertile ground for international intrigue. America's fear of communism and Belgium's determination to see Lumumba fail led to a clandestine arrangement that would seal his fate. In the shadows, CIA operatives plotted against Lumumba, believing that removing him would prevent the spread of communism in Africa. He was eventually captured in December 1960 in a political coup orchestrated by Colonel Joseph Mobutu, who would later become one of Africa's infamous dictators. Mobutu, aligned with the West, led a coup that would plunge the country into a dictatorship. As Lumumba was imprisoned, his fate sparked outrage among his supporters. On January 17, 1961, the world watched in horror as he was executed, his life cut short by violence and betrayal. His body was disposed of in an unmarked grave, a tragic end for a leader who had dared dream of a prosperous, unified Congo. The events surrounding Lumumba and the Congo crisis were a microcosm of the larger struggles faced by many African nations during the mid-20th century. The coup, the foreign interventions, and the political machinations set a precedent for future conflicts across the continent. Lumumba became a symbol of resistance, and his legacy would inspire generations advocating for freedom and justice. In the years that followed, the Congo experienced turmoil and suffering under Mobutu's regime, an era marked by corruption, human rights abuses, and economic decline. Lumumba's vision seemed further away than ever, yet his spirit endured, manifesting in the struggles of those who sought to reclaim the dream of a truly independent Congo. Thus, the day of Lumumba's execution rippled through time, echoing in the political landscapes of Africa, where the fight for sovereignty against imperialistic influences continues to shape the narrative of a continent rich in diversity and resilience.